Hi there. It's actually the last week of November, which I can't believe it's already the last week of November. And it is the last week of Native American Heritage Month. So I want to, this week, First Chapter Friday, we'll read this pretty new book that came out fairly recently called Mascot by Charles Waters and Traci Sorell. So this is a story where there's a debate going on in the book about the school's mascot and whether or not it is a mascot that is offensive to Native Americans and whether or not the school should keep the mascot. So there's an English teacher in this story that assigns that debate topic as an assignment in her 8th grade honors English class. So this is a cool story. It's a novel in verse. And it is told from alternating perspectives, which I think a lot of times is a really engaging writing style, which means that for every section of the book, it's not really chapters in this book, but for every section of the book, there are several different narrators, and each section gives you each person's perspective. So it's a really cool way to tell a story. I'm going to read you the different characters just before we start because I think it's going to help. I know when I was, reading the book, it helped me in the beginning to be like, oh yeah, which one was that? To go back. So I'm just going to tell you who the characters are, and then we'll read the first little bit of the book. So the characters in this book are Callie, who is a Black Cherokee Nation citizen, and she's also new to town and new to the school. Franklin loves football, wearing fresh kicks, and so far has resisted his parents' desire for him to learn more about his Black heritage. Priya wants to be a journalist and has 4 grandparents, all born in India. Sean is a 6th-generation Rye student. Rye is the school, R-Y-E. That's the name of the school. That's the town in the school. 6th-generation Rye student in an Irish family that often needs help from the food pantry. Tessa, who is white, was previously homeschooled and has grandparents who marched with MLK Jr. And Luis immigrated from El Salvador at 7 and aspires to be a math teacher and coach. So let's take a look at the beginning of this book. Fall semester, September through December. Honors English, 7th period. Callie, last class each day. Grateful to see Ms. Williams. Much needed melanin in a sea of white teachers. She says, share your name, your favorite memory from school or somewhere else, and what you love to read. I'm Callie Crossland. My favorite memory is meeting Secretary Deb Holland, the coolest auntie ever, this summer. Since I just moved to Rye, I've got no memories here to share yet, but I'll say that's not art on the cafeteria wall. The copper-toned, muscled, loincloth-clad, tomahawk-wielding caricature with Rye Braves rule painted up top, just awful. The best place in this school, though, is the library. Shelves full of new books, nonfiction, fiction, and the best part, an entire wall of graphic novels, off the hook. What I don't say is there's also no mascot art in there. Franklin. I'm Franklin Keys. Best memory is going to my first Rye Braves football game way back in kindergarten. Ate too much cotton candy and got sick. We won the game, though. Anyone who's a part of the Rye School District knows that sports, especially football, is in our blood. It's the backbone of our community. I can't wait to go to high school next year and actually see the football players walking in the hallway. They're the gladiators of our town. Don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Thought I would be a football player, but me and a ball, not a good combo. I have a collection of Billionaire Boys Club sneakers. They're much cooler than wearing Jordans, in my opinion. While I don't enjoy reading much except the sports section, I can read almost any book, no matter how difficult, and explain it for some reason. That's why I'm in this class, I guess. Priya. Priya Bhatir. I cover sports for the school newspaper. My favorite memories are from the people I meet and the stories I write. Last year's new gym proposal and pushback from the residents on that side of campus about construction meant lots of great interviews. I love reading a variety of books, but my favorite is Ahimsa by Supriya Kelkar. It reminded me of the people I come from and why I am who I am. Sean. My name is Sean McIntyre. Well, let me see. My favorite memory is winning the 4th-grade spelling bee. I love to fish. My grandpa was a genius at it. Miss him. Only kind of homework I've ever liked is reading. Settles my mind down, which otherwise moves in a million directions at once. Didn't expect to talk this much. Stop now. Tessa. Hey everyone, I'm Tessa Ostergaard. I'm new to this school, been homeschooled for years. Now I want to see if going to Rye High next year might be for me, so here I am. A few things about me: I've never eaten meat or dairy products ever. I like to read, duh, that's one of the reasons I'm here, right? My first memory is hearing songs by Bob Dylan while sitting on my grandparents' laps when I was 2 years old. Then as I got older, I read Dylan's lyrics. It was my first introduction to poetry. Favorite book is Inside Out and Back Again by Tang Ha Lai. Being new to school is so weird. That's all I have to say, at least for now. Luis. What up, Cipotes? Luis Flores is my name and football is my game. Don't confuse football with football. They may sound similar, but football, or soccer as you say here, is the best. My favorite memory? Scoring a goal during recess when I was in first grade. I was hooked and been playing ever since. Football, for those of you who don't know, is the greatest sport ever. It wouldn't be played all over the world for so many years if it weren't. Wasn't a fan of reading until I found Booked by Kwame Alexander. Opened up my mind to poetry. Now I'm a reading machine. I don't quit. The pep rally. Callie. Tigers, my school's mascot back home. Fierce, nobody harassed, strong, no offensive signs or chants. Here it's a whole other world. Lunchtime. The high school pep squad comes over and sets up a table for face painting. Seriously? The whooping from guys after they get lines painted across their face is bad enough. But then the cafeteria breaks out into a tomahawk chop chant. Save it for the pep rally, yells one of the lunch staff. Instead of our last class that afternoon, we head to the high school gym a block away. By the time I step foot inside, I know what's coming, and my land back t-shirt won't help. Clammy palms rest on my jeans, my mouth dry as the desert, heat rising on my neck. The music pulsates. My classmates sing. I spring off the bleachers, past the mascot head on the wall, and make it to the restroom just in time to heave up all the hate, disrespect, fear, and disgust. Nope, I'm not a tiger anymore. Franklin. There's a face painting station at lunch, so I get in line to get my face covered in yellow and red stripes. Man, everyone is hyped up. There's so much smiling, I bet people haven't showed this much of their teeth since they last went to the dentist. The gym is filled with streamers and balloons, and cheerleaders are dancing to Clear Eyes, Full Heart, Can't Lose by T. Powell. Then they jump, twirl, flip around as the band starts playing our fight song. We are the mighty, mighty Braves. We battle from morning to night. Strength, pride, determination all across our blessed nation. In a dark world we shine as beacons of light. Rye Braves, fight, fight, fight. Tonight's game can't come soon enough. Luis. Honestly, and I've said this forever, all this celebrating should be for football. Pero I ride the wave of excitement todo el día porque soy un Rye Brave, and that's how we do, verdad? How could anyone not enjoy this? Que chivo. Priya. Racism. This pep rally, filled with chants and gestures that show no honor for Native people, it's just racism. Tessa. This is such a bummer. I've heard about it for years. Seeing it, though? Wow. My mouth hangs open for so long, some people mistake it for something positive. They lean in and say, super cool, right? Bet you didn't get this kind of school spirit at home. If only they could read the thoughts in my head. This needs to stop. Now. Sean. I thought about getting my face painted today, but I'm a bit too shy for all that. Maybe next time. I wore my Rye Braves shirt instead. The logo is so big it takes up most of the front. I feel like that's enough school spirit for me, at least until tonight. I hope the high school finally wins districts this year. Go Braves! The game. Callie. Grateful to be home. The pep rally punched me hard. Hey ya, Braves might! The pep squad chanted. Hey ya, Braves fight, fight, fight! Then the cheerleaders ran in, pulsating music, tomahawk chopping, chanting, yelling, smothering me. I don't want to imagine what they do at that game. Grateful I'm babysitting the Soodle kids tonight. Luis. Franklin can hardly eat dinner before the big game, so I eat for both of us. Mrs. Keyes loves me because I inhale her cooking. The human garbage disposal strikes again, Franklin says. I laugh. What can I say, Chero? Your mom's cooking is the bomb. Ella cocina delicioso. We play Gears Tactics on Xbox. I let him win because I'm a nice guy. He's really not that good at it. Homie has so many video games. He has so much of everything. I'd have to mow lawns forever to get a tenth of what he has. He's never worked for anything. Still love him, though. He's my dude, mi chero. Sean. Fired the heck up about the football game. I'm in the bathroom getting ready, showering, brushing my teeth, pulling on a fresh Brave shirt. There's a knock on the door. It's Dad. Have fun tonight, he says, slipping me some money. Thanks, Dad, I say, trying not to drop my chin to the floor in shock. I don't know how he coughed up the extra cash, but I'm grateful. I walk over to my friend Connor's house, and his dad drops us off at the game. Walking into the stadium, I see a sea of red and yellow. We are united by one thing, kicking the Larimore Ravens' behinds. When our school song starts, I know I'm home. Franklin. There's something about the beauty of fall, and high school football is in the air. What a party! We get our faces painted again. The air smells like popcorn, hot dogs, and us getting knocked around by the Ravens in the first half. Better up our game before homecoming against the Bears in a few weeks. Second half. Here come our Braves charging forward, tying up the score. Game goes back and forth. One team gets the lead, the other team on the attack and answers back. Less than 2 minutes left. Game's tied. Ravens are on our 25-yard line. Hand off to number 34, who gets stuffed by our defensive tackle, fumbles. Our linebacker recovers, runs it all the way back to the 10-yard line. 6 seconds left. J.J. Addison, all 5 feet 7 inches of him with a right foot lightly touched by the Almighty, kicks the game-winning field goal as time expires. We storm the field, hugging players. Even the high schoolers are giving us high fives. Trust me, that never happens. All because of our Braves. Through the cheers, I hear Luis shout, "Maybe this American football ain't so bad." I scream back, "You got that right." Priya. How I wish I'd gotten that features assignment. Instead, I cover sports centered on objectifying a culture. Not how I expected my last year on the middle school newspaper to go. My dad's a White House reporter. He says plenty of assignments gave him grief, but he's grateful now. Politicians often pontificate and obfuscate. My job is to cut through all that, uncover what's really going on, and share it with others. Hope I can do that too. So we're going to stop there, but I hope you check out this book, Mascot. We have a couple copies in our school library, and this is a real world issue. I think you might really enjoy reading about something that takes into account all these different perspectives. I actually lived in a town before I moved back to Vermont that had a mascot change for this exact reason, so it was a pretty similar situation, and people were extremely emotional about this. And even 10 years after the mascot, and even longer than that, after the mascot change was made, there were still a lot of people in the community who thought that, that was not the right decision, and would come to the games wearing, their old gear and stuff like that. So it is a really hot button issue. It's a real life thing, and I hope you come and enjoy reading about it in this book.